Benny the bear loved honey. He loved it more than berries, more than fish, even more than a long nap. Every morning Benny would wake up and dip his paw into his big honey pot. He would lick the golden honey off his fur, feeling happy and content. One morning, disaster struck. Benny reached for his honey pot, but it was empty. Not a single drop of honey was left. Benny's tummy rumbled. He needed to find more honey, and fast. Benny set off into the forest. Surely he'd find a beehive full of honey somewhere. He lumbered through the trees, sniffing the air for the sweet scent of honey. He checked inside hollow logs, peeked behind waterfalls, and even climbed a tall oak tree, hoping to find a beehive. But alas, his search yielded nothing. Benny began to feel disheartened. Where could all the honey have gone? Just when Benny was about to give up hope, he heard a buzzing sound. A tiny bee with stripes of yellow and black zipped past his ear. "Lost, are you?" buzzed the bee, hovering in front of Benny's nose. Benny explained his predicament to the bee, his voice filled with despair. "I can help you find some honey," the bee offered, "but only if you help me gather nectar." Benny, though hesitant at first, agreed. He was desperate for honey. The bee led Benny to a field bursting with colorful flowers. Benny watched as the bee diligently flew from flower to flower, collecting nectar. Following the bee's instructions, Benny used his big paws to gently tilt the flowers towards the bee, making it easier for her to reach the nectar. They worked together, the bee buzzing happily and Benny doing his best to help. By the end of the day, they had collected a whole jar full of fresh golden honey. The bee, true to her word, shared the honey with Benny. Benny, his tummy full of delicious honey, realized something important that day. Finding honey wasn't just about stumbling upon a beehive. It was about the hard work and dedication of the bees who made it. From that day forward, Benny always appreciated the honey he ate even more, knowing the effort it took to create such a sweet treat. He continued to help the bees gather nectar whenever he could, becoming the happiest bear in the forest.